Hi, everyone. This is Chanin Whistler. I'm a licensed loan officer in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I'm here with my lovely friend, Sunita Bali, and she is a realtor. Sunita, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Shannon. It's always a pleasure to meet you or to talk to you. I love your positive energy. Today we are meeting on Zoom, right? Technology,
Yeah.
thanks to technology. This is Sunita Bali with REMAX Town Center. I'm a local realtor. I've been serving Maryland and DC over the last decade, and a longtime resident of Maryland. And I have found my uh, real estate business on exception customer service, and I'm licensed in Maryland, DC. I go as far as Baltimore, but I can go anywhere in Maryland, DC, wherever my clients want, but mainly I stay in Montgomery.
Yeah, and I know, Sunita, that you were recently awarded an award from our local Realtor Association, GCAR. Tell
Oh,
everybody
yes.
about that.
Yeah, well, that's GCAR, our local realtor association. They recognize top agents, those who go above and beyond to help their clients. So I think I probably helped about 36 to 38 families last year, and I'm a solo agent. So they keep coming back, they keep referring me to their friends and families, my clients, and you have to have a certain cross certain threshold, and that's how you get recognized by GCAR. Last year also I got it. I was in gold. It's the same criteria, but they made it more tougher. They made tougher this year, so I'm in silver, but it's still a GCAR award.
Yeah, and it's always nice to be recognized by your peers. It's always an honor.
Yeah, we had a ceremony last year, but this year we couldn't because of the health crisis. But we will eventually, well, maybe not.
Good. All right. Well, speaking of the health crisis, I know that, we've got buyers that are interested in buying, and there's sellers that might be on the fence about selling. Can you talk about what we do differently now, or what you do differently now as a realtor, in in these times of being cautious about coronavirus? Can you talk a little bit about that, both from the buyers and the seller standpoint?
Sure. It's a really great question. I do get a lot this question from my clients, or even if I'm talking to my past clients. Everybody wants to know about the market, right? Like, hey, you're still in the business? I said, well, we are still considered essential workers, but we are very, very careful, like anybody else. You don't want to put your clients or yourself at risk, but houses are being sold and bought every day, right?
They are.
So my marketing plan is the same, but we added another layer to that, is virtual layer. With technology, we take pictures, tours of every nook and corner, and put it out there. Then if buyers, they like it, based on the tour, we have a plan. We let sellers know that buyer would like to come, and we are just adding another layer, that they are pre-approved, that they sign a form, COVID form, which both the parties, they declare, and let us know that they are not exposed, they don't have those symptoms. So everybody's sharing the responsibility and taking precautions.
Good.
And
yeah, that's good to know.
That makes sellers, buyers, everybody very comfortable, and we are taking up lots of precautions and doing lots of virtual open houses too. They are running every hour. We invite, very much like traditional open homes, like 2 to 4, but it's just virtual, and you are there and you're answering questions if they have any questions.
Yeah. So it's funny. Some people wouldn't dream of putting a contractor being very serious about a home that they haven't seen themselves. But with all the technology we have available, it's so much easier to do now.
Absolutely.
And it really, and I think it helps a seller to also know that the buyer has already kind of previewed through the video and through the realtor. So when they do let the client in, or the prospective buyer in, they know they've been fully pre-approved. They know they're ready to go, and they're just about ready to make an offer.
Right.
So I think that makes it a little bit more I don't know if the word is urgent or serious, or it's not just oh, we're going to look at a few
Yeah.
houses. It's no, I'm very interested in this house,
It's
and if
no
it
more looky looks, it's
right,
like serious thing, once they are
exactly.
it's not even right now, lenders are doing a great job like you, almost approving them. I mean, they are ready to go, right?
Yeah. And
The buyers.
most lenders also have something called, we have something called a TBD approval.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when we can fully underwrite the file. The only thing we're missing is the contract. So if I know someone's pre-approved up to a certain
Wow.
amount, let's say 450,
Mm-hmm.
we submit the file, income, assets, everything we need except for the contract, and then the underwriter says, okay, check, income, check, assets, and everything's done, and we're just waiting on that contract. So that's really helpful too.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what are you guys doing differently now? Lenders.
Unfortunately, I
Mm-hmm.
can't go to my closings anymore.
I know.
It's,
Yeah,
they don't,
it was,
they
yeah.
like the minimum at the closing, which is good. The title companies
Yeah.
are following the rules too.
Yes.
We've been doing mostly virtual already, so really not much has changed. My
Mm-hmm.
clients can upload their documents to a secure site. Um, most initial conversations are over the phone. I've actually started doing some Zoom calls initially, and that's been kind of fun, which I didn't do before, so
Right.
that adds a
Yeah.
little extra
Yeah.
level. But honestly,
Yeah, cool.
not too much has changed from the lending standpoint, except
Yeah.
for rates are at historic lows.
Yeah. For us, it has changed a lot.
Yeah,
All our concept, because we are really pivoting now, right? Before, I'm very like I want to meet people face to face,
right,
warm and fuzzy feeling.
of
That's not
course.
there now.
I
So we are
know.
relying on Zoom. No, it's working.
Yeah,
So we go on Zoom, you face to face, send a little video before, hey, this is so and so, I'll be calling you. And so they don't have a fear of camera because they already see me. And I just say, hey, just press this button. It'll be fine.
yeah,
It's very much like sitting. So it
yeah,
is, technology is helping a lot.
right. And Sunita, you told me the other day that you also have a webinar that buyers can go to first, even if they're just kind of thinking about it,
Yes.
right?
Now that one I created even before the health crisis. I said, it would be great that, business is growing and I can't reach everyone. I can't help everyone. I have so much business growing. And so I said, okay, before I hire some, a buyer's agent, let me find another innovative way. So I created a webinar. If you click on that, I will put a link later on, if you like. So if you click on that, it walks you through, what you need to do before buying a home. And then in more detail, they can, do it from the comfort of their home, right?
That's such a
From the
great,
living
yeah,
room, kitchen, wherever, from the
yeah.
bedroom,
So they can
and
get a little education first and then
the
come with you to
education
your
is going
questions
on. And when they're
later.
really ready to talk to me, they give me a call. I have a calendar, the time is there, so they can just schedule a
Yeah,
meeting with me via Zoom.
that's brilliant. I
It's
think
really
I might
working
steal
out.
that
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. Sure, go for it.
Yeah, and I think I had some other questions here. I wanted to ask you about our local supply and demand. And also, I know that you have done some off-market deals. Can you explain to people what that really means? In our,
So,
both
yeah,
supply and demand and then the off-market deals.
that's a great question, because in my webinar, I always stress that, I do listen very carefully when I meet my clients and note down their requirements. It's very important, right? Because otherwise, I'm not the one who just find a client and then start showing homes. No, it's very important to do reality check and see, what they want, right? So based on that, I show 5 homes. I tell them, there's no 100% homes. Out of 5, you get 4. That's almost 100%, right? So off market is when I'm working with sellers and for some reason they are not ready. Now right now for health crisis, they are scared, right? So we keep educating them. It's very much possible. Do not hold on to going on to your next chapter. We can do it. So once I have a buyers and they are looking what they're looking, they don't find in the market, and I know what they want. So I, introduce them to sellers and buyers, and if they're ready, we put it on the market, and there we go. You know, so the sellers are not scared that there's a lot of traffic coming to the house and wanna see. They find someone who wants to buy a home, and that's how we do it.
Right. So it's kind of like house matchmaking, right?
Absolutely, you got it.
You've got a pool of, maybe interested sellers of your past clients. And then when
Right.
you have a new buyer that wants a
Yes.
specific neighborhood, you can
Absolutely.
reach out to those folks and see
Yes.
if they
Yes.
might be willing to sell.
I always tell my buyers, hey guys, it's very much like doctor-patient relationship. If patient doesn't participate in the treatment, doctor can't do anything. The same way, you have to let me know what you want. What is your wish list? Reasonable.
Right.
Like some clients, they have a taste of champagne. They can only afford beer, right? So bring them to reality check. This is where you stand. It's politely, and they understand that.
Right. Did you have some information that you wanted to share about the inventory in our local area?
Sure, I can share with you some stats
Okay.
of the market, because as you know, I get this question a lot. Is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? Where do we stand? And I'm helping lots of buyers, right? And we are not finding that many homes for them. And yeah, let me share with you. And while I'm looking, could you talk a little bit about forbearance?
Sure.
Because lots of clients ask this question and it might help them.
Okay. Yeah. So forbearance is something that was passed with the CARES Act. So included in that, if you have lost your job or lost part of your income because of the COVID-19 situation, you are allowed to call your servicer up and ask for a forbearance period. Now, it's important to note that forbearance doesn't mean forgiveness and it doesn't mean freebie. Forbearance is just a temporary stop in payments, and it's really to hold off for the foreclosure process. So if you have a conventional loan, it's a 3-month period. If you have an FHA loan, it's a 6-month period where you are allowed to not make your payments. However, the caveat is at the end of that time period, you're expected to bring your mortgage current. So after that 3-month period, in the 4th month, you're expected to bring 4 payments. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And if you've lost your job, I don't know how you're going to save 4 payments worth. So at the end of that period, you call your servicer and they are supposed to work something out for you. Now, that could mean a lot of things. I've even seen, paperwork from Wells Fargo that says, well, we may do a repayment plan. We may put it on the back end of your loan. We may work out a short-term repayment plan, or we may start foreclosure. So there isn't any guarantee as to what's going to happen. And just letting everyone know that mortgage forbearance is a type of default. So if you did not lose your job and you're just thinking that this would be a freebie and a way to save 3 payments worth, that's really not what this is for, and it's going to ding your credit. Not only is it going to ding your credit for now, it's going to show that your mortgage was in default, and if you want to buy or sell or refi later within the next year or 2 or even 3, your credit will be reflective of those 3 or 6 payments that you didn't make. So by all means, if you are having financial difficulty and having trouble making your payments, call your servicer and get into that forbearance, because they are not allowed to start the foreclosure process while you're in the forbearance period. And hopefully you'll get your job back, or you'll figure out some kind of way to make those payments up in one way or another with your own servicer. So each servicer is different and each client is going to be different. But it's a temporary stay, really.
That's a great piece of information. So it's not a free money. And if you don't need to, you are not in dire straits. For all my clients or those who think, oh, we could do the postpone for 4 months, it has its consequences.
It does have consequences, unfortunately.
Only if you have no other choice, then
right,
that's
right.
right.
And unfortunately, the legislation was put together hastily, in my opinion. I wish it was a little bit better for people who are having trouble, but it is what it is. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the banks get to make the rules.
Right, right. All right,
All right.
Shannon,
So what do you
thank
have
you
here,
so
Sunita?
much. Yeah. So coming back to your question, what's the situation of real estate market? It has staggered a little bit, we know, because of health crisis. It is still kind of seller's market. The reason is because you see the demand here. I wanted to show you the buyer's traffic. So in 50 states, right, where you see the strong blue color, the demand is really strong. So DC and Maryland, we are in strong demand, right? So there are buyers out there. The reason you know that the interest rates are lowest, historically at the lowest, right?
Yeah.
This gives you more purchasing power, right? And so out of like 50 states, 36 or 38 states have huge demand. So there are buyers. Real estate market is not gone anywhere. You know, we just need to go out and educate our sellers that we have buyers. If it's priced right and it's in a great condition, it will go with the same multiple offer scenarios. You've seen that. I have 5 listings closing this month. They all gone within the first week with multiple offers.
Wow.
You know, I can't tell you about asking price yet.
Right.
Because they are not closed, but
Right.
you know, those know very soon. You know.
That's great.
Yeah. So now looking at sellers market, sellers traffic. So there's a stable inventory in Virginia, LA, Wyoming, and very strong in Alaska. So there are homes, lots of homes in Alaska for sale. But if you see this like all over US, look at the states, there's hardly any homes for sale.
Yeah. And I read something recently that said we are on basically like a 5.5 year delay in having supply and demand be equal. So we have a lot of pent up buyer demand for homes, and the new home builders just can't make more inventory, and the sellers aren't putting their houses on the market to meet the buyer's demand. So if your house is priced right and it looks good, most likely you will get multiple offers, and you will get probably close to your asking price. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. The buyers are not stupid. They will pay you if the house is worth. But if its house is not in a good condition and priced very high, they're not going to buy it. So we still have to keep the same parameters: good condition, price right, and it will go very fast. And I keep telling all my seller clients, this is the best time to buy, to sell, you know, to put your house on the market, because it will go very fast. That stress will not be there.
And buyers are eager to take advantage of the low rates.
Absolutely.
So I have some buyers who thought that they might wait a while, but they see how low rates are. You can get, you know, a conventional loan, 30-year fixed in the low 3s. If you're a VA buyer, it's in the high 2s. I've locked a couple of my VA clients recently at 2.75. 2.875. I've never in 18 years of being in the business been able to lock someone that low on a VA loan for 30-year fixed.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, this data is from NAR, National Association of Realtors. They interviewed, survey about 50K realtors and asked them what the market, how they see the market. So based on facts, you know, that's how we see the market. And the chief economist of First America, he's saying, we know that inventory as a percent of households sits at the lowest level ever.
Wow.
Something we believe will limit the overall degree of home price pressure through the year, right? So it's not, and housing supply remains at historical low levels. So house price growth is likely to slow, but it's not likely to go negative. Those who are thinking, oh, we're going to wait because we're going to get deals. No.
Right.
You know, recession doesn't mean, it doesn't equal to, you know, home crisis. We've seen that historically, you know. So I still think it's a very strong market.
Yeah, and I would agree with you, because I see that, you know, some of my buyers, you know, and that's another reason why I'd like to get the message out there. If you're thinking of buying, if you're thinking of selling and then buying something else, talk to a mortgage loan officer sooner rather than later. Talk to a real
Absolutely.
estate agent sooner rather than later. Because once you see that home, if you're not fully pre-approved, if you're not fully mentally ready, if it's priced right and looks good, it's not going to be around for a while. So you don't have a week to
I
get
don't
your
take
stuff
them
in
out.
gear.
I don't take
You
my,
have like a
I don't
day.
take my clients out unless they talk to lender, because the reason is I tell them, I hate to show you homes. You fall in love and then you can't afford.
Right.
I would hate that. So I want you to find out your purchasing power, and it's all free. The loan officer might tell you tweak a little bit, and it might increase your purchasing power or get a better rate, improve your credit if it's not, So by
Right.
all means, all my clients or those who are sitting on the edge not talking to lenders, please do so. Talk to the
Yeah.
lender.
And it's never too early to have a conversation. I talk to people now who are thinking of buying in the fall and in December.
Right?
It's never too early, because then we can work on your credit. We can get your assets on, we can figure it out and make your file look as good as possible when you are ready. So definitely reach
Absolutely.
out.
That's a great piece of nugget and advice.
Well, on that note, Sunita, let's wrap up. I would like to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Tell me what you think has contributed to your success. Like what makes you stand out above the rest in Montgomery County?
Oh, so sweet. You think I'm standing out? Okay. Well, I take it as a compliment. Thank you so much. So Shannon, as I said, I built my real estate business on a foundation of exceptional customer service. It's very important to me, and I think I'm also technically savvy. I have a financial business background, so I'm very comfortable with financial scenarios. I'm also very comfortable negotiating both sides. That helps my clients. And in the end, I would say I'm just a very ordinary person with extraordinary goals. And I execute that plan when I make a certain plan. I just stay focused with the same consistency, working, sharpening my skills right now. If I am very busy. I always used to say, oh, I don't have time to do my podcast. I don't have time to do this. Now I'm planning all that. So,
Good.
growing my
Consistency
brand.
and customer service. Those are two really
Yes,
important things in our
absolutely.
business.
I compare myself to Amazon customer service. The best.
That's a good one. All right. Well, folks, if you want to get in touch with us, our numbers are here on the screen, and then we will also post down below Sunita's recorded webinar, so you can watch with your family and get yourself ready to buy.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for your time, and to all the buyers and sellers. If you need any help, I'm always there. I have a motto which says, today somewhere someone needs my help, and I'm always ready. Please reach out to me.
That's true. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Have a good
everybody.
day.
Thanks,
Safe
Sunita.
day.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.